I forgot I removed that plugin that does the automatic switching because I'm trying to figure out why we're having the memory leak. So I just went to the black screen when the logo was done rolling. All right. Anyway, welcome back. Hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill. You are whoever you are, which I would love to know why you're here, what brings you to the channel tonight, and who you are, and what you do, all that kind of stuff. So tonight we are going to continue with some work that's being commissioned by the Dash Incubator. We're building an ETL tool for going from the Trello data to the GitHub projects data. And ETL is a buzzword that I learned today. I've heard it before, but basically, it just means Excel macro, like most things do. Artificial intelligence, Excel macro. Machine learning, Excel macro. ETL, Excel macro. No, we're not. It's not going to be as simple as an Excel macro, but we have some JSON data that we have from this, and I need to build out a process by which we can load it into GitHub projects, and so that's what we're working on. And let's see here. Let me go ahead, and I need to get back to. Ironically, we're working on a project management tool, and ironically, I don't actually know where I put the... Oh, here it is. Here it is. I put it in a gist, of course, because we're working on two project management tools, and where am I going to put my to-do list? In a gist, of course. All right, so that's what we've got there. Also, oh no, I already ate all my pretzels. I had some pretzels, and before we dive in, let's have a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, because this is being commissioned by the Dash Incubator, not by Mountain Dew, but Mr. Mountain Dew. Pop top, my friends, because it is time to, you guessed it, open focus. One good sip deserves another. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit in advance today because I can tell it's going to be a cold one. All right. With all of that, now where did my terminal go? Here it is. Here be my terminal. All right. So, I don't know what to call this thing. I don't think I actually started any code for it yet. I really want to just overuse the term ETL now, since now I have a firm grasp on what that means. At least I think I do. It's just migrating data. It's this new buzzword. I guess it's been around for a while, but I'm just slow on the uptake here. Anyway, so we'll call this Trello GitHub ETL. There we go. And we already have from my downloads, I've got some boards, Dash Incubator app, Dash Incubator JSON. So I should be able to let me just bring both of those in here. I'm really curious to see what the Dash Incubator CSV looks like. Let's see, what does it have? Attachment, checklist, item, completed count, vote count, card ID. Interesting. It'd be very. I think it would be quite interesting. Oh, there's only 500 lines here. That doesn't seem like that quite makes sense. Here, let's see, dash. Okay, so this does not include the comments. It looks like. All right, that's why it's so small, which makes sense. How much can you fit into? Let's see. We want to go right there. Okay, there's the limit of where we can put the terminal. Okay, so the first thing, we've already done the extract. Unfortunately, we didn't have to do much. If you're an admin on Trello, you can click the show menu button over here and you get an export tool. So rather than connecting to an API, but we could also do the extract via the API. If I had an admin token, I think I could do that. But for the purposes of this, we're not going to need to do this in a routine fashion. We're really just going to need to do it to test it and then to do the real thing. And so that's what we're looking at there. And then, hold on just 1 second. Sorry, this is a little bit unusual. I'm not seeing a count on the viewers on Twitch or YouTube. And so I don't know if that's because we actually don't have anyone joining on the stream, which, like I said, is a little bit unusual because normally we've got people joining it on the stream, or if the count is just not working right now. But if you're there, let me know. Say hello. I'd love to know. If not, I'll just continue happily, merrily on my way. And whoever wants to catch up on the video on demand or whatever it is can do so. Okay. So, let's see. How should we go about this? An issue that we have here, this JSON is 11 megabytes. That's actually going to take a little bit to parse. But I'm going to go ahead and create a transform.js, and we're going to see what we can do. So fs.promises, async function. Oh, lost me. And then we want to call main. This is going to be main. I seriously need to put this in a cheat sheet because this is literally the same thing that I have to do every single time that I start one of these files. Just that little bit right here. It would be nice not to have to type that all the time. Okay. So in here, we're going to do await fs read file, and we're going to give it, I'm going to call it data.json, and we're going to do this UTF-8, and we're going to say let text equals. Do we just want to require that as JSON? I guess we can require it as JSON. Yeah, let's do that. That'll give us a leg up. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm actually kind of interested to try writing a streaming JSON parser. It's one of those absurd things that I could probably sink a lot of time into, maybe less than the base 62 project, maybe more. But that one, I think that how to build a streaming JSON parser is fairly well known. It's been done in every language. But I don't see a good option in Node, which is really surprising to me. Because we don't necessarily need one that's fancy and does lots of different transforms on the object. We just need something that doesn't hog the main thread. That you could pipe in data and the data can be parsed as it's piped. And I would like to see, there's a couple of JSON parsers that use a technique where you define the shape of the data ahead of time and it's more efficient this way. I'd be interested in seeing how that works as well. Okay, so now we have data, right? Yeah, we've got data.json. I just made a copy of the big thing. And really all I want at this point is just object.keys. Let's just see if we can see what the shape of this data looks like in baby steps. And we are going to copy over the prettier RC and the JS hint. And let me just make sure. Yeah, that's good. And then how about our prettier RC? I think this is good too. All right. And yeah, that's all I needed, right? Then we go ahead and run our transform. Oh, really? I wasn't expecting that. 11 megabytes parsed very, very quickly if that's the case. I would not expect it to parse that quickly. Maybe the objects are oriented in such a way that they are quick to parse. Okay, so here are all of the top level things. Actions, I think, is where a lot of the data goes. Oh, hello, welcome. I'm AJ. Would love to know who you are, what brings you to the channel today. I am building an ETL tool for going from Trello to GitHub Projects Beta. The new GitHub Projects is pretty awesome if you need to do anything with project management, which hopefully you don't, or maybe hopefully you do, depending on how you stand on things. Okay. So I've already got the export from Trello, that because there's a very simple export an entire board tool. Oh, this is actually a little warmer than I expected. I will turn that down. I did not think that it would be warm enough, let alone too warm. All right, so I think we're interested in cards. Is cards at this level? There is cards. I think we're interested in members and cards and actions. Oh, also, there was something else I was supposed to read here. I think I've got the information that I need without reading anything, but let me go back and make sure that I'm fulfilling the requirements that we have here. The first comment on that links you to the GitHub migration. All right. So this spreadsheet, feature assessment. Oh my. Features by impact. Ooh. Oh my. This is big. There's a lot of stuff here. Oh, so this is the assessment of which one wins, and I guess why the GitHub project scores 117 and Trello scores 75. And then something about impact. I guess it's problematic. So I think this is kind of the rationale for the project. I don't know if I really need this to do what we need to do. Because what I need to do is get all of these cards and tasks into issues on GitHub. And I'm going to do that first part in Node. And then there's some stuff that because there's no API for it and because it uses post requests, I'm going to have to do... it's going to be easier to do in the browser console because of the way that it's getting data. It's not expected to be used as an API. There's little bits of information that are being sent with the request that are just strictly to the request. We'll get to that in a bit. But right now, okay, I don't think I want to go through too much of this. Well, any of this really right now. I think this would be interesting to look at in terms of context, but I don't think I need it to be able to get to the part where my goal tonight is to have the node part that can create the issues and save the GitHub IDs correlated to the Trello IDs in place. That's my goal for tonight. Oh, you're a little behind, but I don't think you have to be a Trello admin to access the export API. Probably not for the API. Right. But I think that you have to be an admin to have a token that can access that part of the API. It could be wrong. Otherwise, it seems that they would just give me the tool in the show menu button. Because the tokens that I can create are scoped to my permissions, I would assume. I would consider it to be a security vulnerability if I have more permissions via the API than I have via the user interface. Unless they're, I don't know, that would just seem weird. Okay, so members, cards, actions, lists. What else do we got? I kind of want to see one of everything. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to transform through this. So we're going to walk this a little bit. And walking is something everybody should know how to do. That's a generic term, but walking an object, walking a tree. Okay, so there's the key, and then the value is going to be data key, and then if value, if array.isArray value, then I want a console.log key and then value 0 here. And then if object is equal to type of value and object dot keys dot length is greater than, say, 20. I don't know. I think what I want to do in this case actually is let's just print out, let's get an idea of how many properties are generally on a value. Because if it's, basically I want to be able to print whole objects if we can. So let's do else, and then else console.log value. So I think these are the collection types. Arrays and objects are collection types. I'm assuming that in this JSON that none of the objects are being treated as a collection. None of them are being treated as a map. They're being treated as instances of a class. Hello, welcome. I'm AJ. I'd love to know what brings you to the channel today, if you care to tell, and what it is. What would you like to learn about? This project here is commissioned by the Dash Incubator, but it's okay. We can go on a couple of little bit of small tangents. Take a couple minutes here and there to talk about other stuff. All right, failed. Cannot convert undefined or null to an object. Of course. Rookie mistake. Because null is an object. All right. All right, this is good. I don't know why it's coming out. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to call this trim, I think. As long as this isn't, well, this isn't deeply nested. All right. Power-ups. Why is there? Oh, there's nothing. Okay, labels, lists, members. I'm gonna doctor this up just a little bit more. Oh, this is great, and this has got checklists in it. That's awesome. That's exactly what I need to be able to see. All right, we're gonna doctor up this just a tiny bit more. So I'm gonna create a function here. We're gonna call trim. Yeah, this is for trimming an object. We're gonna take an object and we're gonna do all this stuff to it basically. So I'm going to say console.info trim. I might even want to do json.stringify. Yeah. I guess we could call this data. No, we'll call it object. I don't need to do that. So I'm going to trim this. And what we're going to do here is say trimmed k equals array val 0. Dot filter. Well, hold on. If undefined is not equal type of val 0, trimmed k dot push val 0. There we are. That should be good. And then here, I get the sense. Basically, I just want to know that there's a finite number of keys on this thing. And for this particular bit, just checking that there's a finite set number of properties, i.e. it's not a collection type, map type. And I'm fairly certain that's not the case here, because if that it could be, because you can treat an object like an array. You could have, you know, ID XYZ 1 2 3 4 5, and then it's a collection. Then it's not an object in the more normal sense of the word. Okay, so there we are. We're going to trim this. Oh, we don't need that anymore. And then we're going to print this out to the screen. All right. Oh, apparently what I was looking at earlier was not the comment that was in question. See, web pages are trying to be too smart these days, and it's kind of dumb. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this now. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I need to return trimmed. So my trimmed object is just a copy of my object that's a lot smaller, that's more manageable. So I'm going to call this trimmed.json. And then if I open up trimmed.json, there's just, yeah, it's easier for me to tell what these things are. Okay, that may not be what I intended. Is limits supposed to be, it is supposed to be an object. See, this is an interesting object because it's categorical. That's okay, we don't need limits. Prefs, so, oh wow, lots of stuff there. Lists. Oh, the list doesn't really have a lot to it. I was expecting it to be, I don't know, to have more. Okay, members. Cool. All right, so here's where we have usernames. All right, good. Username. Okay, username and full name. So those are different. Got it. Custom fields. These we're going to want to recreate. Memberships. Okay, so ID and ID member. I'm guessing this is the ID of the membership, as in basically their permissions or their role on the board. So when we go back to member, there's member ID. Okay, got it. So far, fairly intuitive. Cards. All right, there's the description. All cards will be issues. We'll probably want to create issues for the cards first. I'm going to want to map the ID of the card to the ID of the GitHub issue. Okay. All right, members of the card. So I want to have something for that. Oh, Fogbuzz. Interesting. Oh, this makes sense because Fogbuzz was created by the Stack Overflow guys, and they're the guys that created Trello. So that makes sense that the two products would be integrated long before. Okay, and then here we have checklists. Okay, so each checklist is going to be, each task in a checklist is going to be an issue, but not necessarily each checklist is going to be an issue. So there's going to be a card is going to be an issue. The card will have checklists, and the items in the checklists will be issues as well. All right. Should be able to get through that tonight. And then actions. Text data, card. Okay, card that action applies to. Now this is interesting because I was kind of expecting the action to, and maybe it does, maybe I need to scroll down further, to have a type. Okay, comment card. Great. So now we know the types of things. Well, I don't know what all types we could have, but comment card is the one I'm most interested in. Okay, that's it. Great. So there's an overview of all the data. There's going to be some, I just selected the first item out of the array. And so this is not fully representative of everything that we might have, but it's probably a pretty good representation. So if I can just go through this is programming tip. Don't try to handle everything. You always want to break things down. You don't want to try to handle everything. Just how can you handle one thing? And then can you make that one thing into a function? And then can you call that function from a loop? That's what we need to do here. So now I need to go to the GitHub API and see how, I need to go into my email. I need to become a member of, there's a test repository for me to do this on. Yes, this is a continuation from yesterday. So yesterday was just, there wasn't much code yesterday. There was a little bit of playing around in the console, but yesterday was really just about understanding what the requirements are and what the capabilities are. So what does Trello do? What does the new GitHub Projects beta do? What is possible to do with the GitHub API? What has to be done in a hacky-do way? And so now I'm going to do the easy part, which is the stuff that actually can be done with the GitHub API. Let's see, where's my GitHub invite? All right, Ryan has invited you to join Dash testing. Okay, let me open this up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I've been invited to join Dash testing. I will join Dash testing. Cool. And hopefully, let's see, I don't know if I can be, do they let you do this? If I go down to developer settings, I don't want to register an app. I'm going to have to use a personal access token. Let me make sure that I actually have all of the test repo. Can I make issues on test repo? Yes, I can. Cool. So this is where I want to be working from. Dash testing, test repo. So I can tell you right now, example.env, I'm going to create my config file here. My GitHub org is going to be dash testing, and my GitHub repo is going to be test repo. That's what I'm going to be working from. And we're going to copy these over into a .env. And I'm going to see, I might actually already have a personal access token available somewhere. Let me see if I do. .config. Huh, that's interesting. So I've actually got a pattern that I use. So .config is a standard directory. So I'll just kind of show you. .config is a standard directory that all POSIX systems have, and I think you'd probably have one on Windows because of POSIX programs that you run. POSIX is just a fancy word that means Unix-like things. So Mac, Linux, BSD, etc. It's just a standard directory, and programs that are built for Mac and Linux will probably create one. But anyway, what we can do is we can have, I'm going to have a GitHub directory, and I'm the only person that uses this computer that logs into it, but just to be extra safe, I'm going to touch this file real quick. I'm going to change the permissions on this to be very restrictive. So only I am allowed to read or write to this file. So I'm going to put my GitHub access token in this file, actually. So let me go do that real quick. I'm going to create a personal access token on GitHub. I can show you where this is too. It's not a big deal. So if you want to be able to work with Node or Python or whatever it is, you go to settings. So from here, from your little to settings, and then you go down to developer settings. And then you're going to have personal access tokens. It won't show you what they are. I just name them so that I know what they are. And then I'm going to generate a new token. It's going to ask me for a password. And, oh, okay, I can show you this too, because it's not actually going to show anything yet when I get to the point where it shows something. So do I want to expire this token? No, I don't really want to expire this token. I want it to be able to do everything on a repo. I don't know about any of this other stuff. Full control of orgs, teams, nah. I don't think I need any of this other stuff. I just need to be able to create, oh wait, maybe. I think I am going to give it org projects. So I am going to need to give it org privileges. Let me see if there's anything else. I want it to be able to do discussions. I don't think I want it to do anything else. All right, and I'm gonna call this token is going to be Trello ETL, and then it's repos orgs projects. Oh, what else? Discussions. There we go. And then this is on Boomerang. That's my computer. Technically, it's Boomerang 2 because I returned Boomerang. Oh, no. Dang it. And, of course, like an idiot. All right. Delete that. We'll do it again. Thankfully, it saved it. Well, it's kind of annoying, actually. But anyway, we needed repo. We needed admin for org. We needed discussions. That was it, right? Okay, now I'll go click create token over here where I'm not showing it to the whole world. And we're going to block the bot. Boom. Bot blocked. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go into GitHub and I'm going to mark this as Trello ETL. What did I call it? I said this is repos, orgs, discussions. There was something else, I think, maybe. Doesn't matter. GitHub token equals. All right, and excuse me while I put this in here. All right, now let's go back over here and we're going to do a couple things to our file. One is, well, I want to create a package for this. Yeah, sure. Right now we'll call it Trello GitHub ETL. Sure. And we're just stick. I'm just going to keep this. I don't know what all this needs to be yet. So I'm just going to leave it mostly empty. npm install save. I need .env. We're going to have .env. And I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a small thing. Can I create one issue? So create issue.js. That's all I want to do. Use strict. And then I'm going to require .env. .env.config. And then I like to have, because I stream, I like to have two env files. One is the normal .env, and then the other one is .env.secret. Actually, this one, .secret. And I name it that so that I remember that I don't accidentally open it up on the stream, because a lot of times the env stuff is just bogus stuff, it doesn't matter. But in this case, I actually have a real production, a key that has production access. So I do that. And this will give us process.env.github token. That's what we get out of this. So now I can do var GitHub token equals, and we have our GitHub token. Okay. And then I need to go check out the GitHub API. And let's see, request.js. Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to set up my request object. And I'm going to block another bot. Oh, now I get it. None ya biz. As in, you're trying to stay anonymous. Before I was just looking at what seemed to be random letters. Now I actually took the time to see that you were intentional. They weren't random letters. All right, module.exports equals require at root request at, what is it, set defaults or defaults? I forget, set defaults. And then what was I going to do? Let pkg equals require. I remember this one. Hold on. It's require.main. Let's see. I don't have this one in muscle memory yet. Is it require.main.path? And then package.json. And then this was supposed to be user agent, package.name, like this. Package.name, package.version. So this is this is actually to spec. You should, in every API client that you create, you should give the API client the name and version of your app. This is used for statistical tracking across different APIs, so they basically know what different apps are connecting, and it helps them know how to handle things like deprecation, because they know and contact points, and it's a sensible thing to do. All right. So let's see if this works. All right, npm install save at root request. And then, okay, it's not set defaults, then it must be just defaults, like this. Okay, good. All right, so we got that out of the way. So we got our request object out of the way. All right, we got create issue. We're going to do, notice how I have no consistency anymore as to when I use let or var. I'm just so messed up right now at this point. I'm so disillusioned, I don't even know anymore. I should just go back straight to var. It's the right thing to use. You'll never go wrong with var. var will not mistreat you. var will not lead you astray. Okay, so request, and then now I need to go look up some GitHub documentation, GitHub API issues. And let's see, there we are. List issues, create an issue. And then, I must need to go up top here. Let's go up to the very top, quick start. API. Keep it logically awesome, okay. All right, cool. So there's our GitHub base URL. So GH API, whatever we want to call it. There's that. And then let's go back to issues, create an issue. It's funny how the GitHub page works. It doesn't work very well with the back button. You might notice that if you ever use on any of the GitHub products, using the back button will any day at random not work. All right, owner, repos, issues. So we also have, I'm just going to shorten this to GH for right now. GH org equals process.env.github.org. I guess technically it should be owner. And GH repo equals process.env.github.repo. So actually, let's just change this. Let's say it's token, it's owner, and it's repo. And there's our request. Nope, we don't need that. Let's just move this one up top a little bit. And then let's say base URL. Let's call these things, and then we should be able to do a request. And we should be able to say, well, we don't even need to put the method there. We're going to have the body, which hopefully is going to be JSON, I'm hoping. And we're going to have the URL, which is going to be the base URL and then the URL in question. So there we go. We need to put an S on the end of this. Issues, there we go. And then we can just, whoops, as it happens, just put a $sign in front of these. And there we are. All right. So now I just need to know how to create the issue. Except, so I guess we have to put that we're supposed to put this in there or whatever. We'll put that in there. I'm going to say, actually, there's a couple things. So let's go back here. Request. I don't know if I actually have the headers set up that way. I'm going to ignore that for now. I don't think I actually have it set up to allow default headers. That's a mistake on my part. All right, so we're just going to copy over some of the stuff. So this is path. All right, title. So let's try it out. Title, test, AJ's script. All right, body. And this is going to be empty because it's going to be empty most of the time. But this is markdown. So let's just, let's not make it empty. Let's do a little bit better than that. Let's say, how much fun? A little. In moderation. Then what? Awesome. I wanted to come up with something that sounded cooler than that, but that'll work. Assignee. Only users with push access can set assignee for new issues. Assignee is, this field is deprecated. All right. Milestone. So we might want to create milestones. Milestones might be something that we want to learn how to create. Labels is definitely something that we'll want to know how to create. So we'll want to know, I'm just gonna put in here for now. We want to create labels and milestones. Late for the stream. Yes, but it's okay. You're here. Yeah, and you can ask your questions. So basically, just to catch you up, for God, this. So I'm being commissioned to create a tool, an ETL tool, as it were. Now that I know the new buzzword, to export Trello data. So essentially, this entire board, everything that you see here, and then everything inside of it, all of the comments, all of the checkboxes, everything, all this stuff. Okay, I have it already as part of an export data. So in their show menu here, if you go down, if you're logged in and you're a user with the right permissions, you can get a JSON export. So the extract has already been done. It's a manual download. There's also an API to do it, but that's the extract part. And everything is just nice, big, huge, hunkin' 11 megabyte JSON file representing all the activity on this board over the past few years. So that part's done already. I didn't have to do anything crazy. I didn't have to go loop through a bunch of APIs and grab a bunch of things. All the members that have participated on the board are here. All the cards on the board are here. All the comments are here. Everything is in the one file. It's awesome. I love it. It's the perfect export format. Let's see, milestones. And so now, so what I did was I created this thing. I'll just show you. I created a little transform, which right now doesn't really do any transforming per se. It just trims an object. So it's 11 megabytes of JSON. Obviously, I don't want, when I'm looking at it, to be able to understand what does this data look like. I don't want to see all hundreds of cards and thousands of comments. I just want to see, what does one card look like? What does one comment look like? And so that's what this is doing right now. We'll turn it into a more complete transform. But right now, it's just trimming the output so that I can look at it in a mostly digestible format. And then right now, I'm creating the part of the load. So I'm creating the bit that's going to create issues. And so there's a number of things that I need to do, which it can be done manually because once they're done, they're done. And then there's a number of things that I'm going to want to do in an automated fashion because I'm going to have to test this several times. And yeah, anyway. So now I need to get back to looking at, here we are, assignees. There we go. An array of strings. Logins. Okay. So I think what we want with assignees, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to assign this to AJ and Ryan. I think that's how we do it. Bum, 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 bum. Unrecoverable syntax error. No, I refuse. I will recover. I got better. Where are we now? Oh, we're not recovering because of that right there. There we go. Okay. Let me go grab the same thing that I have over here, and I'll look at those comments in just a second. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. Boop, boop. We're going to move this inside like this. And then we just want to let resp equals. And then if not resp.ok, throw new error not okay. Otherwise, console.log resp.body.data. I forget. I think it's .body. All right. So now let's go ahead and run create issue and see what we get. Cannot find module request. Of course not. Because it is like this. I don't know why I had it any other way. All right, not okay. Great. This is excellent. So let's go ahead and check on what was not okay. Undefined. Interesting. Oh. Huh. Well, that is interesting. We're back. Okay, nice. E-check. What is e-check supposed to be? If I refresh this, nope, we don't have issues there. All right, so I'm not clear. Oh, of course. I need to add the authentication header. I should print out in this not okay bit. I probably should print out rest.status. That would probably be helpful. Is it status code? Status code? Okay, let's just take a look at resp, period. Promise. Oh, whoops. Duh. Okay, not found, and the reason is probably because I don't have the token in the header. Because it cannot tell me whether or not this exists because I don't have permissions to it. I'm kind of surprised that it says not found as opposed to, let's see. All right, here we go. Post, accept, repos, title. But whoa, it's not showing me the bit about the header, which it should. Let me go back to overview, authentication methods, authentication. Here we go. Token, OAuth token. There we go. This is it. So let me go bring this back around. So authorization, token, and then we want token. That should do us for this. Not found. Let's go ahead and make sure that our URL is what we think it ought to be. Just sanity check, you know. And make sure I'm using the right verb. Maybe it's a put instead of a post, because the default I have here is post. So I'll probably want to make sure of that as well. Double slash. Double slash will do it to you. There we go. Let's try this now. Oh, that's taking a long time. Yay! It's a lot of information coming back. All right, let's take a look. Did we create an issue? Yes, we did. Hello. All right, so there we are. So let's actually break this down. All right, so things to do. All right, inspect trimmed data. Check, we did it. Create any issue. Check, we did it. So now we need to link issue ID to Trello ID. That's the next thing that we need to do. And then loop through all cards. Loop, not look, loop. Create issue for all cards. Okay. So now, I'm trying to think of the way I want to do this. Oh, hey everybody, welcome. I'm AJ. I'd love to know who you are, what brings you to the channel tonight. We're just doing a little, I already forget the acronym. Extract, transform, and load from Trello project management to GitHub projects beta, which if you've used GitHub projects before, they were kind of lame, kind of stupid. So they reimagined it as the way that developers and people who manage developers might actually want to be able to view information rather than just trying to literally copy a Kanban board. And they nailed it. And you'll see that later on. But right now, I just need to worry about getting all of the comments, the issues created from Trello. Okay. So I think the way that I want to do this, if I can find the project we did the other night, dash pay demo, quick start. I think I just want to use the same thing that I was using here. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do we're gonna transform this. This is gonna move fairly quickly. Let's see. So this is going to be create an issue. We'll move this out as we go. Let's see. So we're creating an issue. Return. I don't know if I really need that. That's probably good enough. So we're going to do create issue from card. No, we're not. We're going to have a transform card is what we're going to have. So I'm going to bring over, well, first let's do this. No, I'm going to create another one. We're going to call this one ETL.js. That's what we're going to call it. I'm going to bring in JSON storage and DOM storage. And we're going to call this one Trello. Okay. And we are going to have our little GitHub API here. And so here's a weird thing that I do, but I swear it takes me less time to do it. I would not actually recommend, in most cases, that anybody use any official SDKs for a REST API if the REST documentation is available, because generally speaking, it's going to take you less time to copy and paste the URL that you need for the REST API than it is to figure out all the particulars of how they rename things or how the SDK is actually different from the REST API. Now, most people are not going to work that way. I understand that, but that's the way that I end up working because it is faster for me. I can understand HTTP a lot better than I can understand any given company's conventions that they like to put. So I could use, you'll notice in here, all of these things that we're going to go through, REST API, reference, issues. Okay, for all these things, list issues. Here's the REST, right? But then they're going to show you code sample. Here's how you do it with OctaKit Core. So I could do this. Well, all they're doing is templating in this for that. I am doing that anyway, you know. So, tomato, potato, right? And we could just go through any of this. But the thing is, I'm not necessarily going to understand what their conventions are. And it's just easier to learn REST as such, than it is to learn, well, how does GitHub's SDK library work? And how does PayPal's SDK library work? And how does so-and-so's SDK library to work? It's so much quicker to just say, okay, show me where the authentication token goes and show me what the URL is. And I know how to set headers and I know how to set query parameters and I know how to set a JSON body, right? Then to have to figure out all the particulars of how they might do it. So I tend to not use the official SDKs just because they don't really provide a lot of value. And it's not that I really argue against them. It's just that like I said, it takes more time to figure out the little nuances than to just read the REST documentation, do exactly what the REST documentation says. And usually the REST documentation is better than the SDK documentation because the REST documentation will apply to every language. And so more often than not, they'll get that right. Whereas the SDK will only apply to one specific language, or in the case of PayPal, if it applies to multiple languages, it's really, really crappy. Because it's too much stuff for them to focus on writing good documentation. Anyway, that out of the way. This is what we're going to do. So I'm going to move create issue to gh.js. And whoops. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to have module.export. So here's what we do. We do let gh equals module.exports, gh.issues equals, this is just how I did the PayPal SDK. My own personal one that I created. There we go. So now, boom. So I'm going to end up with a duplicate SDK that is just the things that I need. Toot. Alrighty. And we could go one more on this. So we could do gh.request equals, and I'm going to do this. And we're going to say, for right now, it's just going to be URL method URL body. Or just URL and body right now. We probably need method at some point. Maybe we'll tack that on the end. But we don't need it right now, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. And we may not need it for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to move, we're just going to move part of this over and part of this over and part of this over. So it's going to be URL. So here we're going to do, check it out, gh request, and then we'll say URL, and then body, and this is going to be body. So we could just call this maybe issue, call this issue, and then, so this is going to be body then. Here, that's going to be body. We can comment this out. Hold on, I'm gonna paste that real quick. Just I'm leaving it there as just where it is. Okay, so now we've got a base URL, and we need to make this async, of course. And then we're gonna have some sort of error handling at some point, but I'm just gonna leave that for now. And then we don't need any of this either, so I'm just going to take this out, and there we are. Now we have our own little GitHub SDK. Okay, and then gh.issues.create. And then I can put my issue in there, and then I can catch on it. And then I still need to do here, async function main. And then same thing as always. I guess I'll just move this down here for right now. And then we'll do, oh wait. All right. So I am going to, what's crazy? I haven't been watching the comments as closely to see things as they come in. Blocking bots. All right. And again, hello to those of you coming in. If at any point you find that this is useful or entertaining or that you like it, please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And you can check the link in the description for related and unrelated links. I do want to highlight, there's no sponsorship relationship or anything here, but I just have some affiliate links for Digitalocean, which I recommend everybody use Digitalocean because, and the deal is, and it's the same deal that you get if you just go to the site and click on the right thing. But if you go through my link, then I get a little kickback if you sign up. But Digitalocean is just so much simpler than any of the other stuff out there. And I can't even talk about it because I will literally sound like an ad for them, and I'm not an ad for them. They're just really good. But I guess I should, they just focus on simplicity. Everybody wants to tell you about how you need 15 bazillion different services, but it's all about money, right? It's all, you don't need 15 bajillion different services. You don't need database clusters and replication lambdas. You don't need all that stuff. You just need to write some code, to save some stuff in a file sometimes or in a database sometimes, and to make it accessible somewhere. And that's why I like DigitalOcean, because that's what they're focused on. Just how do you do the simple things? And then instead of not knowing what your bill is, one month it might be 30 cents or free, and another month it's $20,000. It's just $5, the end. Are you overspending by $5 most of the time? Yeah. But the other time you're underspending by $20,000. So take your pick. All Unfortunately, this is not a project that really would make sense to host on GitHub. But at some point, especially for you, For God, I want to show you how easy it is. Because you don't have to have these complex AWS setups to do simple things such as download from an API and then upload to an API, or make something accessible for a web page. Things you don't need 10 different systems to do that type of stuff. They like to sell it to you that way because if you're using 10 different systems, it means you're locked into their products, right? And then it's going to cost more money. It starts out as free, but if anything ever becomes, if it ever good at all, then all of a sudden it's going to be lots of money. Anyway, so what do we get back? We get back an issue from creating an issue, and then the issue is going to be, I'm going to need, let's see, we're going to need to get the Trello stuff. I think I'm going to rename it to board.json, and we'll just call this board, and we'll know it's a Trello board. I think I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to rename this from data.json to board.json. And then in my other tool here, I don't even know if I need to use this anymore. I just built it so that I could get a trimmed object. I should probably save that in my cheat sheet. Oh, bless me. But if I needed to use it again, it's board now. I will need to look at it momentarily. Okay, so from board, we want to basically we want to take cards, and we want to go through this. So let's just go through this with one card. So we're going to do board.cards, and then we're just going to take the first one, and we're going to, you have to think, so I skip around a lot because I'm thinking about multiple things at once, and I'm also not thinking from start to finish. I'm thinking from finish to start. So for me, what I'm thinking about here with what we need to do is that first we need to check if this ID exists. So I know, because I do this all the time, whenever you're going to create something, the first thing that you want to do before you create something is check to see if it exists. So a lot of times, beginner programming, you think, oh, well, I'm going to create something. And then afterwards, you start thinking about, well, wait, what do I do now? But no, you actually just, I guess it's something that you learn or you don't, but you have to think from the end to the beginning, not from the beginning to the end. And there's some common patterns that, obviously, if you don't know where the end is, you can't think from the end to the beginning. But there's some common patterns you pick up. And one of them is that before you create something, I mean, you want to create something once, right? But before you go into a loop of creating something, you always want to check to see if that thing exists. So we're going to take a card, and we're going to need to check to see if card.id is somewhere. I think what we want to do is say cached equals, what am I doing here? Store dot, is it going to be await? No, I don't need to await this. Store dot get, I'm gonna do it this way. We're gonna do card.id, and that's a JSON store, so this should come back as cached. So I should be able to console.log this. And I think where we're going to get back here is null. So this would be exists. And then if cached, then for right now, we don't need to do anything about it. It's there. It's good. So we can say that we're done. So we're just going to return. All right, now, and we're going to need a transform function. So we're going to have a function card to issue. So this could be a little, we could have a, just like we have a GH here, we could have a Trello, and we have a cards.toIssue or something like that. But I'm just going to call this card to issue right now. And we're going to take a card. And first, again, we want to start with simple, stupid cases. Red, green, refactor, right? So first, let's just say I don't care what the card is. I'm just going to turn it into an an issue in this way. Well, maybe we do care. Let's see. So we're going to get a card. We're going to check to see if the card already exists. If the card doesn't exist, we're going to say, actually I'm going to do, so that this would be full issue. And this is going to be our partial issue, which we'll just call this issue equals card to issue. And we're going to pass in a card, and we're going to get back an issue, and then we're going to create an issue. Okay. And then with the full issue, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to store, and we're going to set card ID, and we want to take the issue ID. I actually don't remember what the issue looks like. But let's just do this for now. Yeah. All right, so I don't actually want to pass in a card yet. Instead, I'm just going to pass in an object that has an ID, and we're going to call it ABC. So I'm going to mock it out, and then we're going to do a real one. So I'm going to repeat basically the same thing I've already done. But we have a fake transform function. So we've got all of the plumbing, the pipeline, if you will, is in place. But we're not actually doing anything useful. So if I run this again, I'll probably get an error. I probably did something wrong somewhere. But if we run this again, in theory, we get a new issue. Okay, maybe we did. Let's see what that's like. And if we, all right, so if we run it again, okay, cool. That's great. So it worked. It actually worked. That's kind of surprising. So and if we look in my database here, card, ABC, Trello, GH projects. So this is my card is for ID ABC, the card ID ABC. This is the issue that I got. All right, cool. So that's working. So we're almost ready to go through the full loop and basically transform every single card into an issue. And then we need to do that for every single checkbox item. So that's not going to be too hard. It's checking for something that exists after creating it. Yeah, it's just good software engineering principle. You're going to have to. You're going to have to think about it, right? If you want to create something, if I wanted to go through, let's consider a really common use case that's a terrible experience on most things that support it, that doesn't have any reason to be. You've got contacts in Facebook. You've got contacts in iCloud. You've got contacts in Google. Where else do you have contacts? You've got contacts on LinkedIn. And typically on your phone and on certain communication apps, all of them are all linked together, right? You have to do that ETL process over and over and over again. You have to extract from GitHub, from Google and from Facebook, and then you have to load into iCloud. You have to transform and load into iCloud. So if every 5 minutes when you ran the import from Google, or every 5 hours, whatever, when you ran the import, you extracted everything from Google, you export it from Google, and you get that JSON. Just imagine how terrible it would be if every 5 hours you created a new contact, Jenny, in iCloud every single time. This would be intolerable. So you have to. It's not just a good idea. It's literally your program won't function for people if you don't do it. Your other option would be, which in your case with the statistics for the NFL, or was it NFL? If you're looking at the statistics, sure, you can delete the entire database every time and recreate it every time, because you're going to fetch from all those sources every time and you're going to produce a consistent result set. But for something like contacts on a phone that you interact with different people every day. And so every system has to cross-reference every other system. Google has to know who your Facebook people are. And it's exactly what we're doing here. So it's exactly this, where we have, we're associating one ID with another ID. We're just making, we have a poor man's join table, if you will. We're just creating a relationship. The relationship is between Trello card and GitHub issue. And there's going to be another relationship between Trello task and GitHub issue. So you'll see that as we go on. Yeah, but this is not, there's almost nothing that is specific to a language when it comes to good practices. The things that are specific to a language are bad practices, because a good language should be able to let you write good code and cleanly and concisely. And a bad language is going to let you write crappy code terribly. So to some degree, we need different languages to solve different sets of problems. They need to be tuned to solve different problems more effectively. But the things that are most different between languages are the bad parts, not the good parts. The good parts are usually pretty similar, and there's only one or two small things that are really specifically different from one language to another. The things that are the many things that are different between languages is the crap, the stuff that if you could avoid learning it and just not use that part of the language, you'd be better off. And if you've watched the Crockford talks, then you'll see what I mean, because he's he gives great examples of the bad parts versus the good parts of a language. Anyway, let's carry on here. This is going really great so far. So one thing that I want to do is before I actually load the card, let's go ahead and let me just look at it again, because I need to see how I'm going to do this. And if I'm not mistaken, I need to go look at what GitHub said again, but I think that they're kind enough to drop the assignees that don't match. I guess we'll find that out momentarily. All right. Assignees. Check if a user can be assigned. Create issue. Update an issue. Create an issue. Only users with push access can set assignees for assignees are silently dropped otherwise. So let's just try this real quick. I'm going to put in here assignees. Brr. I'm pretty sure that's not a valid assignee. And I just want to see if it gets silently dropped or if we get an error. I kind of would prefer that we get an error, but we'll see. And either way, it's okay. All right, A, B, C, D. All right, good. Validation failed. Value. Assignees. Invalid. Great. Okay, cool. So we probably don't want to do much with assignees right now. That's something we might want to go back through and update later. So I'm going to actually say assignees stays empty for now. Well, now we're going to put Ryan on everything. All right, so I do want to look at this. I'm just going to put a return in here. That's okay. It's just going to flip out when I do it. Okay. So this is what a card looks like. Card has an ID and it has, closed. So we want to replicate the closedness of the card. If the card is closed, then can we create issues as closed? That would not make sense from the general perspective of how people use GitHub, but that would be really convenient for us. Okay, so we want to be able to update an issue and to close it. So create an issue, get an issue, update an issue, update an issue. Can we update? Is anything required? Do we have anything that says required here? Issue number. Assignee labels. Interesting. How do we close an issue? Does it say, let's go back up here. Maybe that's its own thing. Maybe if we call delete, it actually closes, which I don't know that I'd like that if that's the way that it works, but it would be a way to do it. Lock an issue. Label an issue, milestones. Yeah, all that stuff's good. Lock an issue, unlock an issue. Accept owner repo issue number, title, body, assignee, state. State, that's what it was. I missed it. Can we create an issue in a state? Get an issue. Can we create an issue in a state of closed? No. Okay. So I want to do this. Closed. If closed is true, then we're going to update the issue. So let me go into here. And where we have our issue.create, I'm also method equals get. No, I'm not going to do that. Do we, let's see. Let me go back here. We're going to look at update an issue. Patch. Okay. So maybe I should just call these really semantically what they are. Let's go with this. We need to have an ID. I think we could do that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? Yeah, issue number. Issues. I guess we could say number. That's fine. Let's just do it exactly the way that they... It's a little verbose, but we can handle it. All right. And again, feel free to, ask questions. Maybe post a funny meme. I don't know. Actually, let's stay away from that. That can be obnoxious sometimes. All right, is this what we want? So we want the ability to update. But hello to those of you joining in. Feel free to say who you are and what brings you here, what you do. I changed my monitor setup a little bit, slightly, but I'm getting a little bit of a crick in my neck. Also, I need to check activity monitor real quick and see if we're still experiencing the... No, we are not. Okay. Confirmed. It is one of 2 plugins that I had installed into OBS that is creating the memory leak. Because OBS memory is now flat as a pancake. All right, so we're going to create an issue. We're going to get the full issue, and then if card.closed, then we're going to gh.issues.update, and we're going to do issue.id. Is it ID or is it issue number? Let me take a look in here. Man, those bots are just getting bad. Does anybody want to help moderate with the bots? Because I'd be happy to add you as a channel admin if you're one of the regulars. And you'd like to just be able to click the block bot button for me, that'd be great. DB, there we go. Do we have number in here? Number. So issues have a number more than they have an ID, I think. Node ID. Issue 5. Okay. And then the number is 5? Yes. So issues have a number, not an ID. Good to know. Issue.number. Let me go block the bot. It seems that it's a very consistent pattern. It's some letters, a dot, and a space, and some letters. Stay on Twitch. Don't worry about it. I mean, I'll just block them every once in a while, but they've been getting really bad this week. YouTube will probably fix it next week or something, It's a game of cat and mouse. But anyway, I kind of like the I want to get my Twitch averages up. So we're trying to get up to what feels like to us an average of 10 people on Twitch, which might take us a couple months to get there. And then to Twitch, after all they're rounding down, that'll be 3. And then I can get a little special button on Twitch. So that's how much of a sucker I am. They get the best of us and the rest of us. All right. So we're going to do state closed. All right, so we can get that. That's great. Let's see, what else do we want? Description. Do we have a title? Name. We have name and description. Okay, so with card to issue, title is going to be card.name. Let me just kind of get... I'm just going to keep this as a model. And card.description is not adequate for body. We're going to be building out some stuff here. And then, what is it? Assignees. We're not going to... Ryan, do we have milestone stuff? I'm assuming, Ryan, that you're on here. Oh, yeah, thanks. Ryan, will you send me in the Discord, will you send me your channel, your YouTube channel URL, and I will go add you as a channel admin. That would be great. I was just asking you something. I remember there was a couple of fields that we wanted to bring over. There was a primary admin, I think is what it was called, a secondary admin. Was it in terms of milestones or the things that we know are available as stuff that issues have? And milestones are not dates. I don't think we have a date thing for issues, unfortunately. I don't think we have a due date or anything like that. Anyway, I'm just going to pop this in the channel real quick. GitHub issues API. There we go. And I'm going to go hop over to YouTube for just a second. Oh, AJ's live now. Oh, I want to watch. That would be really weird. I mean, if I were to try to do it. Let's see. Where am I trying to go here? Settings. It's under settings. It's under community. Moderators. Ryan, approved users. Ryan, it seems that those two ought to be the one and the same. Let me go back in here. Community. All right. Well, Ryan, I think that if you refresh the page, I think that you now have God mode privileges. Well, maybe not quite that high. It's probably reserved for the YouTube staff, but add or change channel permissions. Let's see, invite, select access. Huh. Just taking a peek at some other stuff here real quick. Okay, done. Done. All right. Look at that semicolon. We don't need it. Get out of here, semicolon. Nobody wants you around here. All right, let me run this again. Take another look. Custom field items, checked items. Checklists is going to be really fun. But we're gonna have to do this in an interesting order, because we are going to update ID checklists. Okay, let me go back up to the top. So we got description, we've got ID short, manual cover attachment, name, position. That's interesting. I don't think that we have the opportunity to update that. Day last activity, ID board, ID members. So let's take a look at I think assignees we would want to be members dot filter card dot ID members dot filter ID dot map return members ID dot filter Boolean. There we go. I think that makes sense. What is it griping at me about? Oh, can't begin with a number. Duh. So this is probably something we want in a JSON file to be able to map from Trello IDs to GitHub IDs. And let me go check actually and see who this is. I'm assuming it's Ryan just because it pulled one essentially at random. But let me see who that really is in the, what is this, board.json? Sam Kirby. All right. Whoops. Username. There we go. Ah. So we'd want to create basically just a mapping like this to be able to import the user data. So that's how we could do assignees. And we could go back and update that later. But I also want to find myself. I don't think I'm assigned to anything. But let's see. Do we have username? Ryan, just give me a couple of people that are on both Trello and GitHub. You know, give me just a few. You know, 3 people or something like that. If you can. What their GitHub username is and what their Trello username or what their regular name is. Because I just want to put a few more people in this, particularly people that are active, just to see how it goes. Probably be a little annoying. They'll get spammed with some emails while I'm doing this to saying an issue has been opened in your name or something. So maybe somebody that could be okay with that type of behavior. Let me check over here. Yeah, so maybe I can make you a Restream admin too. I don't know about how to do that. Let me see if there's a community tab. Live chat app. Let me see what it says about chat app. Open in browser. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to share with you I'm gonna give you admin privileges. I'm gonna share this with you privately. So I just gave you a link that gives you admin privileges on the chat. Just be careful. Make sure you close that when the stream is done or when you leave. Because if a chat window stays open between sessions, weird things happen. All right, we're making excellent progress. Things are about to come to a real fruition here. So what we're going to do in here, to do, check that migration is at state X. So what I can do is I could say full issue migration equals 1. So here's some real constants for you, boys and girls. So we can do const m created equals 1. We could say m lists equals 2. Say m comments equals 3. And so what we could do is every time we change the status of the issue, so I might run this multiple times, and every time I go to run this is because I'm adding some new feature to the transform in the load, right? So I'm going to keep track of what has been done. Well, obviously, it's reached the created state just by virtue of the fact that it exists at all. All right. So we could say, if not cached, let's see. I don't know, like this? And then if card.closed, we could change, I don't know, we could change the issue state. I don't know exactly what to do there. We'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, so we can say if we don't have it at all, Then, okay, let's say if not full issue dot migration greater than or equal to m, what do we call it? Lists. I don't know, do we get back the full issue? I need to look at this. Closed, full issue. Do we get back the full issue when we do an update? Or do we get back a partial, or what happens there? Because basically I need to figure out how I need to save this thing. I'm assuming that this is actually a full issue. So if not a full issue, then here's the full issue. There we go. And then if full issue is less than list, console.log to do add lists. And we'd actually have to then create issues per, we're going to have another transform. So we're going to have a task to issue. At this point, I want to get rid of all this nonsense. I'm going to just do example issue.json. I'll just paste that in there. It's not quite JSON, but you know, it's close enough. Interesting. That's definitely not JSON, but it allowed it. All right, what do we got here? Got it. Sweet. Let's see. There's a couple of... There are up to 2 admins, primary admin, secondary admin. They are listed on Trello as members of the card. Secondary is the one listed in it as a custom field. Primary is the other one. Members of the card. Yeah. Don't think I didn't hear your SCSS versus CSS slander the other night. Lol. I don't know what you said that in regards to what I said now. But SCSS is not CSS. That's not slander, nor liable. That's the truth. Okay. But, you know, feel free to be part of a different factual reality. If it doesn't run in the browser, if the browser cannot understand it, it is not part of the browser platform. Browser can't understand SCSS. Also, you know, especially if you're new, please don't learn SCSS. Learn CSS. Every time somebody says, oh, here's how you do this in SCSS, or tries to convince you to use SCSS, go to the CSS documentation and learn how to do it in the CSS way. CSS has variables, it has calculations. There's no need for SCSS. We're not in the 90s anymore. And I could be wrong about that. There might be, you know, 1 or 2 things, but is it worth it? Is it really worth having all that extra overhead and dealing with all of the nonsense? The SCSS takes minutes to compile for just about every project I've seen. You know, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I doubt it is. All right. So we got our card to issue. Now we need our task to issue. All right, so this means that basically we need to look at a task. So I'm going to need to log a card again. And kind of see how this goes. All right. Cannot read properties of undefined. That's excellent. Means I did something wrong. Ah. Indeed. All right, let's take a look at what this latest one looks like. Dash community poll page. All right. Do we have a URL for this? URL. Card has a URL. Let's update this. Then ETL. Desk. Let's do card.url. Say imported from card.url. And then we could have card description. So when we do an update, what if we did object.assign and then gave it, where's our card to issue? It's not really what I want to do. Sorry, I'm thinking. We don't really want this, but we do want to update this. I don't know if in either case, I don't know, do I need this? Do I need this? That's the question. Console.log full issue. Documentation URL not found for what? What did I do wrong? Issue card to issue. I think what I meant was full issue dot number. Updated issue. Let's try this. Okay, did this... Oh, yeah, check that out. Booyah. All right, let's keep it going. So now we got to link back to the original. Yep, all right, that's great. Okay. So, oh, darn it, I did not actually look at the updated issue. Let's run this again. And let me see. This looks like it's the full issue. Okay. Oh, I think... Oh. I think I need to sit better in some way, shape, or form. I don't know quite what's wrong. Oh, cool. All right, so we're gonna... I've got a list of a few people that are in both places. So I'm going to update that. I'm assuming that what you're giving me here, Ryan, I'm assuming that these are the GitHub handles that you're giving me, not the Trello handles. I guess I'll find out momentarily. So it seems that these people have the same handles on GitHub as they do on Trello. Yeah, these are the same on GitHub and Trello. Okay. Oh, no menu on the messages. Okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll add them to the block list on Restream as I'm dealing with it. Oh, yeah, because so the URL I gave you is actually this URL. And yeah, that URL does not. So yeah, okay. Let me try one other thing real quick. Hey, what's up, Infinity Bannable? Welcome. Oh. Oh, reply commands. Ooh. Oh, this is good. Hold on just one second. Should have explored this before. Hey! Oh, no, that didn't do anything. There we go. Now I can apparently I just found out how to use commands in the chat. Okay, sorry. I'm going on. I just got distracted there. Wait, what am I holding on for 1 second? Oh, okay. We're slowly sorting the issues you raised regarding the dash docs. Excellent. Yeah, I'm just... you're going to... In any moment now, this is going to go from moderately, okay, we're doing something, to really cool. And I just need to decide when that moment ought to be. I think that moment should be now. Let's put this on Uber Fun mode. Let's go to boards.cards.map main. It'll be a miracle if this works, but it might work. Okay. Again, this is going to be full issue. All right, so now we're going from creating one issue to creating all of the issues. Okay, Spectaprod is not legit. Did I spell it wrong? Spectaprod. Spectaprod. That's not the GitHub username. Oh. Uh-oh. What is secondary rate limits? We're hitting rate limits. Oh. Okay. So I think I see what happened here. I made a boo-boo. I made a boo-boo. Okay, we need to play nicely. So my boo-boo is that we need to, and I don't know if we're going to have to wait to fix this. So I hit the rate limit because instead of doing one card after another, I told it to do all 100 cards at once. And that was a silly accident on my part, because we don't actually want it to do that, because that would cause problems with what we're trying to do anyway. Okay, but we need our sleep function. Let me go to my node cheat sheet where I keep my nice little sleep function. Oh, look, it's the first thing on there. That's how common this is. Okay. Let's see if we get lucky. Maybe it'll work already. So, Sam Kirby 22 is not the GitHub name. Somehow this doesn't quite feel right. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. Well, let's see what this looks like now. 39. But 0 are closed. And, all right, so I went through the cards. We did the cards one by one. And we await the promise. And then we're supposed to await the sleep. And then we're supposed to do the card. So how could... Oh, this. This needs to happen. Let's do it like that. Okay. There we go. Ba-da-da-da. Oh, you're just repeating what I said when you said, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Is that what it's like when I watch me watching my own video? Yeah, let's just, why don't we take a break from doing work for a second, and let's just watch the channel and see what's happening live. I'll do, let's just, why don't reaction we take a break video from doing work for a second. Yeah. And let's just watch the channel and see what's happening live. I'll do, let's just, why don't reaction we take a break video from doing work for a second. Yeah. And let's just watch say anything else and see what's happening live. I'll do, let's just, why don't reaction we take a break video from doing work for a second. Yeah. And let's just watch say anything else and see what's happening live. Everybody loves this. Let's just, why don't reaction we take a break video from doing work for a second. Yeah. And let's just watch say anything else and see what's happening live. Everybody loves this. It's very cool. Reaction video from doing work for a second. Yeah. And let's just say anything else and see what's happening live. Everybody loves this. It's very cool. Reaction video from doing work for a second. We can do that again anytime. All right. Not found. Okay, that's all right. So one thing that I need here is we need to check the status of this thing. And if status, if changed, let's say, I'm using the term let's say way too often, then we want to sleep. This is how this should work. So let changed equals false, changed equals true, changed equals true. And then this one, let's not even do this yet. What was the problem that it had? It didn't like the update. Again with the issue.number. Let's see how many places have I messed that up. Just there. All right, so let's try this again. All right, cool. So it already went through. All those are already done, so I didn't need to do them again. All right. Having a good time. Okay, not okay. You have exceeded a secondary rate limit and have been temporarily blocked from content creation. Okay. So I imagine we're going to experience that in the browser as well. So I think I'm going to need to check for this message in particular and print something to the screen. If not okay, if rest.body dot, what was it? Message dot includes rate limit, then all right, so this is is there a batch? Is there a batch? Maybe I should be doing a batch thing. Do we have batch? Okay, so this is not an intended use of GitHub issues. Hit rate limit, waiting 30 seconds. And then let's bring sleep back over from the other file. All right, let's try this. See how this works out. Cloud Wheels is also not here. All right, so it's down to you and me, Ryan. You can. All you have to do is learn how to type. All right, does it tell us specifically how long we have to wait? Rate limit 5,000. Rate limit used, 288. Okay, so 30 seconds is not long enough. So we're going to have to go with probably somewhere in the realm of, let's see, let seconds equals, say, 90 seconds. Seconds. Now, the real shame here, let me see if I can scroll back and verify this. They did not use the correct status code. They used forbidden, but what they should have used is 422. No, 420. 420. 420 is the appropriate status code for enhance your calm. All right, so we'll let this keep going. And then before we end tonight, because I think we're getting up on a good kind of halfway point, and then tomorrow we got to figure out all the crap with that's not as easy. So maybe we'll actually need to break this into yet one more. But tomorrow is when we'll be doing the stuff that has to be done in the browser where there is no API. I think similar methods will apply, but it's actually going to be that this is the easy part. All right. So another advantage of creating my own SDK is it was really easy just to put in that check right at the base level of, hit a rate limit, slow down. Yeah, and I don't even know if Twitter still uses that code, but they were spot on with that. And it's great. By the way, this is something vim.adventure. I think is this it? Vim Adventures. I really do want to, there was some sort of discount that he's willing to give. Yeah. Enterprise and education. There's a discount that he's willing to give. And I asked him about doing, and I think he added this to the site when I asked about it. But if we get enough people that want Vim Adventures, I will pay for the bulk license and then dish those out to y'all. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. But Vim Adventures. So if you want to, I don't recommend getting good at Vim. I recommend getting good enough at Vim. This is going to take you a little bit further than good enough, but it'll get you the muscle memory. So if you want to be fast at Vim, muscle memory. This is a fun game. I think it'd be worth paying for. I just haven't paid for it because I haven't. All right. Anyway, how's this doing? Cool. So it hits rate limits. It waits 90 seconds. It hit rate limits. Waits 90 seconds. This is working excellently. Very pleased with this. Now let's go look at how we're going to extend this to do the tasks. So first we need to go through and do all the cards, and then we need to go through again, and we need to do all the tasks for all the cards, and then we need to go through again, and we need to do all of the tasks in the original cards. So we have to go through every task, every card, and then we need to go through every card a second time. So this is probably something that's just going to have to sit and run for a long time. Let's see what we're up to. 134 open, 20 closed. This is going great. Okay. I wonder if we did it every 5 seconds. I don't know. Anyway, so what do I need? I need to do task to issue. So let me look at the trimmed one again. Cards. And contains checklists. And then check items. So checklists, check items. Okay, if it's checklists, check, I guess those are technically work. Yeah, I get it. All right, never mind. Okay, task to issue. So this is checklist item to issue, which we're calling a task. We'll call it an item to match their whatchamadoozle. And this is going to be very much the same as what we already have here. Because we're essentially going to do item. So check item. So item.id. Oh. So this is upsert. Different thing here. This is going to be upsert checklist item. And this is going to be checklist item to issue. So full item. No, this is still going to be full issue. And we're going to name this upsert card. That's what we're going to call that. And I guess we're going to have card.checklists.reduce promise.resolve and then checklist await promise, and then we're probably going to have the same await sleep in here. So this is going to model that very closely. Yeah. Let's see, where's the await promise there? So these are going to model each other pretty closely. So this is going to be upsert checklist item. Is that how this is going to work? Upsert checklist item, yeah. Been using Vim for a decade, but you're still slow. Better keyboard? I don't know. I think I've been using Vim for a little over a decade, and my Vim skills have improved vastly in the last couple of years. Just because I've learned the extra 5 things that make me faster. Bots. Oh no, I lost everybody's chats. Oh, okay. All right, so checklist. So I'm going to have a to-do build more description. Actually, I think this is just going to happen a second time. Okay. So this one's gonna happen again. Okay, I need to look at my trims JSON here. So we got checklist, and it has a name, and it has an ID, and it has the ID of the card. So this is all good, but it's already part of the card, right? Yeah, so it's not until we get to comments that this is going to be obnoxious. Let's see, is this thing still running? Oh. Looks like we may have hit our rate limit for the day or for the hour. We might need to employ some exponential back off. To do needs exponential back off. So Ryan, if you're still on, we have hit a snag in terms of it is not clear how long it will take to get this done, because essentially the API is not intended to be used this way. So we might want to sort by, say, newest first and figure out what the number of issues is that we can create per hour, because So I'm just going to put in here ETL, or sort by most recent activity. So to do sort by most recent activity. We'll have to figure out what that is. Probably by comments or by updated at. But we're definitely going to need to sort. So with that, I may have actually maxed out on what we're going to be able to do tonight. Well, I could still go through. I can finish up this checklist piece, and we're just going to have to skip over the actual creation of the checklist. And we might want to put some jitter in the sleep. Let's see. GitHub API maximum issues per hour. Let's see what we got here. Oh. Huh. Well, let me take a look here. All right, so we're going to look at checklists. So I don't need anything for that. It's just check items. Items have ID and name and state and member. Check items. Secondary rate limit isn't the same as the one in the header, I think. Yes. You're right. It's not. Oh, I can actually turn the heat down a little. That's good. Okay, so item ID, title is going to be item.name, assignees is going to be, let's see, where's that little map function? All right. And then we have description. Oh, wait, body. Body is going to be empty. And then we can change the state right afterwards. So this is going to be item.id member. I think I would actually prefer to do this for the sake of consistency. All right, what is this whining about right now? Oh, yeah, of course. So name data gets nothing. Position doesn't matter. State matters. We're going to pull that over. Just a second. Checklist item to issue. All right. This is going to be very similar but slightly different from upsert card. So this is going to be checklist item to issue, and we're going to put an item, and we're going to get back an issue, and then if not full issue, we've got whoops. Same thing as there. Oh. And actually, maybe these two functions, maybe they'll be similar enough that we can do the same thing with them. No, they're not quite similar enough. Well, maybe they could be. Remember, simple is better than complex, but complex is better than complicated. So this is one of the sins of refactoring. Not anything I'm doing right now, but write everything twice. Write everything twice. Because one of the sins of refactoring is that you take two things that are similar and you force them to be the same. And that makes things complicated. It is better to have two simple things than have one thing that's complicated. Don't force issues. Huh. Is that really... Let me take a look at that. State, complete, closed. Lists, cards, state. Yeah, they're not the same. They're similar. They're not the same. So, for example, an item can have a state that is complete, whereas a card has a state that is closed. So it's better to have two functions that have lots of similar stuff inside of them than to have one function that has a bunch of if statements or switches or whatever to go between two things. All right. State closed. Cool beans. And I don't think that there's going to be anything else that I'm going to need to do with this. And really, this is going to be round 2. Because, all right, let me put this in here. Function main. I guess it doesn't have to be round 2. Yeah, okay, we'll keep it as part of round 1. What I mean by this is we could layer this in different ways. I think what we need to do is we need to go from most recent, maybe just most recent things. Yeah, we need to go from most recent cards, most recently active cards, and we need to pull in the cards first. Of the most active ones. And now how we deal with the tasks. Do we want to do all tasks on each card? We'll find out. All right, so card. And then we can output here. We can output task, which I think we're calling these bounties, right? So let's say it's like that. But then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the task. Okay. And I have to do the same thing again. I have to await. Oh, this is going to go here. So I need to await checklist dot check items dot reduce promise check item, or just item at this point maybe, promise dot resolve. Ah. Do we call these lists? What do we call these? Check items, checklist, has a name, has an ID. Got it. So hoping to do it in as much chronological order as possible with tasks and cards, so older cards and tasks would get the smaller issue numbers. Well, pick your poison. You can pick the poison you wish to pick. You must pick the poison. Okay, upsert checklist item. Okay. Okay. Back off equals 30. And we'll say back off equals, what, 90? Back off equals 90. And then, so needs exponential back off. So we can just say back off plus equals, now times equals 2. Back off equals, let's say math.max, I think would be an hour. So an hour would be 3,600, and then let's throw in a couple extra for good measure. Or, whoops, min. So there's our exponential back off. If it succeeds, we go back to 90 seconds. If it fails, we double all the way up to an hour. And let's make that an hour and 1 minute. Whoops. Probably make that 15 minutes or something. We'll find out. Okay, so let me think through this, because now I've violated my principle. I said first we need to do one thing. And what have I done here? I've added to the thing that's doing many things. So I actually need to take a step back, and I need to work on how do we get just one checklist item. So in my main function here, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to put return. So we need to do board, cards, zero dot checklists 0 dot check items 0. I knew something was wrong about the way I was approaching this. All right, that's correct. This is correct. So I need a function that can handle just upserting this one item. So I should be able to await upsert check item, checklist item. And then I should be able to pass this in, and this should work. So do I have that function? Upsert checklist item. I think, yeah, I have that function. So I should be able to do this. Yeah? Oh! Yeah, I don't know how long that secondary rate limit lasts. But I think we are going to have to deal with that for a while. My guess is it probably lasts about an hour. So I could maybe just let this run overnight and see what happens in the morning. Maybe I'll be banned for life from GitHub. Or maybe it'll work. Could go either way. Who knows? I'm imagining it's some sort of rolling rate limit where you've got so many per second, so many per minute, so many per hour, so many per day. Maybe even so many per week or per month. I doubt it would go that far. But unfortunately, now I can't even test this. However, if somebody could give me their access token via the chat in Discord, then maybe I could use someone else's token and I could continue on this for just a little bit longer. But I think that I'm kind of at a good stopping point. Let's see, how long have we been going? Almost 3 hours. So yeah, I think I'm at a decent stopping point in terms of there's a lot of progress made, and also in terms of it's difficult for me to go forward from here without a little bit better solution to the rate limit problem. And tomorrow, the solution to the rate limit problem could be that I test smaller batches and I put a greater number of seconds. So I sleep for 10 seconds between each one. And really, I just want to make sure that I can get through a few complete issues, perhaps including, I don't know, let me see if we can add comments via, can we add comments? Comments, yes. Okay, good. Yeah, so we might want to go as far as having the comments. Maybe I'll look into that right now, because I should be able to at least find the path. Good. So our exponential backoff is working. That's excellent. Let's see. So I was hoping to do this in much of chronological order as possible. So older cards get smaller numbers. What's downside of chronological? Rate limits. Maybe it would be best to have each admin run the script to create their own issues. Cool. If you need to make unauthenticated calls but need to use higher rate limit associated with your auth application, you can send over your client ID and secret in the query string. So these are not unauthenticated calls. These are authenticated calls. So I have used this for something else, the client ID and secret. That is not this. These are authenticated because an issue is created by a user. That way the issue creator is correct. Yeah, that sounds great. We could certainly do that where, but to what extent do you want to do that though, Ryan? Because you've got the comments and et cetera, et cetera. So this is going to be a lossy process. But yeah, if you could give me, say, personal access tokens from admins that expire in 30 days. So if you could get people to go and and add them to the test repo. I wish that we could scope this a little bit better, but or when we go to do the big export, I need to be able to test with at least 2 access tokens to make sure that there aren't bugs in the code. But yeah, if we could do something like that, just give me the access tokens and expire them when I'm done with them. If we can, some people may not be comfortable with that because they may have access to things that are really important. But I guess if that's true, then they'd be comfortable running the tool on their own. Okay, found this, but I suppose we're doing that already since we're authenticated. Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Okay, well, wait, hit secondary rate limit, waiting 180 seconds, and then it just goes away? What? What happened? Did I kill it? I don't think I killed it. I might have killed it. Waiting. Did I control C that? Did I do it when I wasn't looking? Oh, nope, we don't want to bash that. Thank you. Oh, it only needed to do one. Okay, cool. So I'm back in the game. So the most recent issue that was created. Okay, can we do... All right, so I did one. Can we now go from one to a full list of them? Where do we have checklist? I want to do this thing separately. So let's see, I want to do upsert checklist. Checklist. And I don't think I need access to the card in order to do this. It is perfectly fine to do these completely separately. And so then we can do await upsert checklist, and then put in card. Let's see. Wait. So let's see about this piece right here. Upsert checklist. Is this cool? Upsert checklist item. All right, so what I want to do is actually, where do I want to console.log this? So I did not get this task printed out. Oh, so that means there. Let's do these. So we've got task and then list, right? So this should probably go into upsert checklist. Yeah. And then where's bounty at? So this should probably go into upsert card. There we go. These are kind of inverse places to put them, but they work all right. Okay, so upsert checklist item. Wait, why did that take time? Oh, because these should be check items. That's why that took time. Because I'm still storing it under card. Got it. Okay, so that would have just created the same issue a few times. That's no big deal. All right. And hello to those of you joining in. I don't know who you are, but welcome. Okay, good. So that's fast. We're building an ETL tool to extract from Trello, transform, and load into GitHub projects. And I've been focusing on issues tonight. I'm wrapping up for the evening. Just got a couple more things to try before we go. I don't think I'm going to do comments tonight. But I could do maybe comments tonight, but I don't think I want to do comments tonight. I kind of want to do a little bit of comments tonight. We'll see. I don't want to take too much time. I need to get sleep. And good night's sleep. Get to work tomorrow. Do my work tomorrow. Come back tonight or tomorrow night. And then do the next portion of this. Okay, why am I spinning my wheels right now? Because I want to... Okay, so this actually makes sense. So I'm going to have this, for the purposes of testing, upsert check list. Checklist item. upsert checklist. And then we should have an upsert card. So this should be a good way to go about this. Here we go. This is perfectly in line of the philosophy of one thing at a time. So we have a way to check each thing at a time, and then we have a way to check everything. So upsert checklist. What was this one then? Checklists. A card has checklists, so it makes sense that that should just go under card. I'm okay with that. All right. So doot. Boop, 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 boop. See how it's going to go? All right, there we go. Now, the last thing that we need to do for the card is to link everything together. So we need to do one last update to the card, which is to create the checkbox list with the appropriate issues linked. So we're going to do that, and then we're done for the night. Feel really good about that. That's an excellent stopping point. And in case I get hit by a bus, let's go ahead and create a repo here. Trello, GitHub, ETL, AJ's stuff. So we need to do a git init. Things are in a good working spot, so I should just commit as is. Git remote add origin, blah, blah, blah. Git pull, origin master. Oh, main. Great. Excellent. I don't know that I want to put my db.json up there. Let's see. From the show menu. The show menu. All right, so what I do need though, so in our example.env, hold on. Example.env.env them.env update oh, not that one. GitHub token equals. This is going to be so fun. I'm going to use my base 62 token generator over here. So evil. I'm cackling because now I can generate tokens that look like real tokens. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that evil. Make their poor little token parser. Check to see if that's a real token. There we go. Personal access token should have repo, org, projects, and discussion privs. That might be the most evil cackle I've ever had. Just call me Kamala, friends. Okay, that was a little too far. It's late. I'm adding example. Oh, whoops. I don't want to add example yet. What do I want here? Start.json, start.csv. Let's see. I actually do want to make a lib folder. See, look, now we're getting all fancy. Examples. I don't know if I want examples. Oh, I did say Ryan. I'm sorry. I know how to spell your name, Ryan. All right. MIT license is bad, Ryan. It's bad. Let's see, but we can do that. Unless you're really sure you want the MIT license. Should not do the MIT license. And people should not be sure they want the MIT license. Okay, so actually I'm going to reset the license here. Okay, so what all do we have to look at now? Lib. Get rid of this. Why is this complaining? Redefinition of storage. Really? I don't see any definition of storage. Do you see a definition of storage? Because I don't see one. Sure. Add linter and style config. Add license. Sure. Update license. MIT. Sure. Ignore data files and secrets. And add ETL env lib. Mirror Trello board to GitHub issues. There we go. I'm killing it tonight. Now that I know the term ETL, I'm just going to use it in all the wrong ways until people correct me and say that's not what that means. And then I'll learn when the right place to use it is and isn't. All right. All right. Wait, why is that taking time? Something didn't work right. I think I know what it was. Check item, check item, check item, check item. Card, card, card. Check item. Nope, that wasn't it. I don't think we need this. Get, set, set. Get, set, set. Huh. Where are the sleeps at? If changed sleep. If changed sleep. If changed sleep. Okay, so let's take it from the top here. Changed is false. Changed is true. Changed is true. Changed is false, true, true. Changed. Upsert checklist. Why is it sleeping? I don't understand. All right, let's see what's happening over here on the issues. Do we have a bunch of issues that are the same thing over and over again right now? dash testing, test repo, issues. Okay. 14 minutes ago. Did I see anything? 14 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago. So why is this taking time? This is the thing that I'm not clear on right now. So if nothing was changed, upsert card. So if not full issue, changed is true. If the status, if card is closed, but the state is not closed, then we want to update the state to be closed. This makes sense. So upsert card, upsert checklist item. Do we have any sleeps in here? Because this should take no time. Okay, write detailed functional dash community. Why is this taking time? What's the size of our db.json? Not that big yet. Changed card. That should not be happening. Full issue number, item ID, full issue number, upsert card, so return changed. I weren't even returning the right thing. It wasn't even possible for it to be changed. Changed list. No. List item. Maybe it is just the JSON stringify, JSON set. JSON stringify, JSON parse there? Maybe. Let's just sleep, 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 sleep. Okay. So we should see if it's sleeping because it's sleeping. Changed list item. Changed list item. Changed list item. So this should be, this is wrong. Changed list item. Upsert checklist item. Changed is false. If not full issue, let's console.log no issue, console.log not closed. check item ID. And let's go look over here. Are we opening more things? Doesn't look like we're opening more things. Change list items. So what am I doing wrong? Changed list item. Upsert check list item. Oh, that's it. Duh. All right, so now we should be back to, well, one, I need to get rid of the logs. Things that aren't logs that are intentional output need to be changed to info, which is what all of these are. So none of these are logs. Those are all info. Okay, great. So this looks perfect. Oh, hey everybody. Welcome to the channel. I'm just doing some export from Trello, import to GitHub. And if at any point, anybody that's been watching, if you find this useful, if this is cool for you, if you learned something, if you like the sound of my voice, it helps you fall asleep at night. If I feel like your big brother, your coding big brother, somebody actually said that. I'm not trying to make fun of it. That came off a little bit more make funny-y than I intended. But if I give you the warm fuzzies of a coding big brother, anyway, whatever. Give it a thumbs up. Consider subbing if you want to sub. Don't do anything you don't want to do. Don't let me tell you how to live your life. Even telling you not to let me tell you how to live your life. If you want to let me tell you how to live your life, then do that too. Anyway, check the description for related and unrelated links and all the things and all that. Well, oh, and we are just, so I'm closing up, but feel free to make comments, ask questions. I go on tangents when I do these things. So it's all good stuff. All right, now, good. That bug is fixed. So what is the last thing that I'm looking to do here before I end? Ryan, do you remember what it was I said I was going to do? I went off on the tangent of publishing the repository, but I thought there was one more thing that I was going to do before I left for the evening. And maybe it was just get rid of this and let everything run to completion as far as it can run. Oh, I remember what it was. I remember what it was, which is that the card, we want to create a better description for the card. So it's card to issue. We need full card to issue. Or maybe card to description. Card to issue body. So we have this bit, and we need to go over card.checklists.map and we should have a checklist dot name and then think this is going to produce the right results. Okay. This is going to be wonky, and maybe I should refactor this down or something, but I'm just going to go with it for now. Checklist dot check items dot map. And so basically, well, we'll see it. I'm visualizing this in my head. Item.name. So item.id. So we need get dot number. Wait, no. Let x equals if issue dot state is closed, sorry, this is one of those things where I can't really explain what's going on in my head. I mean, I could, but I don't know that other people think this way. I'm seeing the thing. I'm building the markdown. It'll become clearer in a minute. Oh, now explaining it, I lost my train of thought. Now I need to get back to it. Okay, I'm back. Okay. All right, what isn't it like? I can't say that I'm proud of this. But let's go ahead and do a card issue to body. Again, just one thing at a time. Card issue to body board.cards 0. And let's go ahead and console.info this and see if it looks the way that I expect. Probably won't. Okay, so if there are no tasks, then we should not have quite so many white spaces. We should also have an extra white space after that. I want this to be pretty markdown. I'm quite surprised that turned out as well as it did. Not bad for a first try. Okay, this has one too many white spaces. Where's the one too many white spaces? Checklist. Should this be a join? And this should be an empty string? I think that might be what it's supposed to be. Not quite right still. Concept tasks. Where's name? check items map.join .filter boolean. So sorry, this to me is the equivalent of a nasty regex. I know what this does because I just wrote it. I don't know that anybody else would know what it does. I'm just going to say, sorry, not sorry. Okay, a little bit off still. A little bit off still. Well, obviously, I don't have a good idea of what it's doing in my head. Otherwise, it would come out perfectly the way that I'm expecting it to. All right, so if there is a name, see, I'm just kind of guessing and checking at this point. That's when you know it's wrong. Shouldn't have to guess and check on your code. You should know what your code's going to do before you run it. Okay, that is off. That part I fixed. Okay, now there just should be, if there are tasks, then there should be before and after the task. No. Always after the name, there should be a new line. This is a truth. Let's say like this. Wait, no. In JavaScript, you can still use special characters in the backticks, right? Yes. So this is a truth. That's not right. Why is this wrong? Okay, something's way off here. I need to break this down. Comments? Comments. Yes, comments is tomorrow. Comments as in the comments of the issues. Now, what I wanted to finish off now is just this. Okay, I'm going to, instead of doing guess and check, I'm going to use my brain, and I'm probably going to break this down. Maybe. I'm going to maybe break this down. Okay, so I've got a checklist. Every checklist should return the name and a new line. The new line should be followed by checklist items. And after the checklist items should be a new line. Between each checklist item should be a new line, but we'll never see that in the way that we're doing it here because we don't have things that have more than one checklist item. And then between the checklist name and the checklist items should be another new line. And there doesn't need to be a new line after that. Okay, there we go. The only thing that's that I don't like about this is QA tasks. QA tasks there. I know this is pedantic, but QA tasks, since it's an empty list, should not have let tasks equal I'm just going to pull this out into its own thing. Oh. Whoops. Went one level too high. Acceptable. I'm moving on. Okay, so with that out of the way, upsert card. Oh, can you see program? Sajad, yes, I can see program, but I don't like to program in C. Wouldn't worry too much about making the MD look great. I know. I'm being pedantic. More likely that we want to add task types, the list it's under, just as a tag on the task issue. Okay, let me make note of that. Okay. Checklist.name should be a label because this is something like concept prod or whatever. Just what to do here. All right. Card to issue body, I think is what I said. See, this is what I'm talking about, where there's multiple things going on in my head at the same time and they converge. So I'd put this here because at some point I was thinking about this. And then I only, 2 hours later got around to it. All right, that to do is to done. That one's gone, 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 gone. All right, now a little bit of luck. Wait, why was that a less than? That doesn't make sense. What was M lists? Oh, bother. Oops. Skipped one. Literally. That's not right. Huh. I don't understand how that is. Migration 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Do we have any migrations that are set to 1? Nope, none that are set to 1. Do we have any that are set to 2? We have none that are set to 2. So I got one little thing wrong somewhere. I should have already gone to bed, but this is just one of those things that if full issue migration is less than, so should upsert the card. Oh, does this particular one not? No, this definitely has it because we just did boards.cards0. Boards.cards0. Card issue to body. Yeah, so upsert card. There's nothing returning here. There's nothing returning here. This is async. That's an await. That's an await. All right, so do we see the thing about bounty? Yes, we do. All right. Over here, do we see an issue that's referenced by another issue? Console.log. Undefined. Oh, okay, cool. Ah, oh, I see a problem. I see the problem. I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay. Okay, I need whatever state this was. Let m equals m created. This is equal to m. And then this is equal to m. All right. Okay. Like that. I just need to make sure that whatever... This doesn't get reset. This is it. This is the bit. Okay, because that one can change. Oh, it's just... So really it's not there. It's just here. That's what it is. It's this right here. None of the other ones need that. Just that one needed it. Because that's a state that is not a complete state. Okay. Still undefined. There we go. There's the missing piece. I probably need to apply this somewhere else as well. Probably in that upsert task function. Oops. Migration. This was if not. And then I need this one here for the closed. That's what I need right there. Okay. This is going to be it. Boom. Okay, cool. That worked. And then we do it again. Boom. All right, now let's unleash it and see how it fares. Well, first, it's working. Full issue description plus checklists. And then let's just remove that one little return right here and see what she does. I'm a little concerned because I'm not seeing any tasks that are marked as 2. And I think we should be seeing tasks that are marked as 2. Oh, there's a task marked as 2 right there. And 3. All right, sweet. It's working. Whew. So I think I'm just going to let this run overnight. I'm out. So sorry, Sajad. I didn't really chat with you much. I try to be a little bit more... I'm just really in the zone. So sorry if I wasn't friendly enough there. Let's see. Let's go to chat. Anybody wants to join in on the Discord again? So I'm hopping off. Thanks for joining in. If you liked it, give it a like. If you thought it was entertaining or you like the sound of my voice, some people, I just help them sleep at night. It's a public service that I offer. You can listen to a man code. It's boring as all get out. It'll put you right in that zone to just hit those Nimbus clouds. All right. Anyway, with that said, yeah, if you want to join the Discord, join the Discord. I do have a channel for content requests. I am going to try to burn through those starting next week. This week I am full to the brim. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe on Saturday I'll be able to squeeze something in or something. We'll see. But yeah, so Jad, if you want to talk about C programming, we can talk a little bit about it. I don't recommend anybody C program because C is a dangerous language and it leads to viruses and crashes and hacks and all that sort of thing. And we don't need that in the modern world. The cases where, well, I'm not going to go on that right now, but we can talk about that. I'd love to talk with you about it. Ryan, again, thanks for commissioning this. This is actually, one of the types of problems that I enjoy working on. Just as the way that it is. For everybody else that was in the stream, thanks for your comments. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the advice and trying to help me figure stuff out. It was really great. And I'm going to leave maybe another 5 seconds or so if anybody has any last words to say. And then I am going to peace out for the evening. Maybe have my last sip of Mountain Dew because that's what I need right before going to bed, right? All right. Seeing none, again, I thank you. I look forward to seeing y'all all again. Yes, it was. All right. And then I'm just going to leave this running tonight, and either it completes or it gets stuck in an infinite loop, but either way, it'll exponentially back off up to an hour, so it shouldn't be too bad at the worst of it. And I'm going to be very interested to see what these issues start looking like live stream. Let me just see live stream. Do we have, tracked in number 28. There you go, Ryan. Boom! This make you happy? I hope this makes you happy. I hope it makes you more happy than it makes me. It makes me happy to see this. I hope it makes you even more happy to see this. All right. Well, that, folks, again, thank you all. And share. Spread the word. Get this out there. Tweet it. Put it on Facebook. Share with people that you like. If you didn't like it, share with people you don't like. I do want to actively grow the audience of this. I want to get the Twitches up to an average of 10 watchers. And I would like to hit 5,000 subscribers before my birthday. Just a little active birthday thing that we can work on together. That's June. And with all that said, and there's some affiliate links in the description if you want the discount on DigitalOcean, because I mentioned that earlier. Anyway, all that said, thanks so much. This has been fun. I enjoy hanging out with y'all. Have a good night, day, evening, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it is, wherever you are. Adios.